I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. I've been so busy lately. The podcast is back, and I'm streaming 3 days a week, and I'm editing a big project that's like 14 podcast episodes. I'm too busy. What am I going to talk about? I haven't done any research, and I can't talk about anything that I haven't researched. I can't talk about Wheezy Waiter. I just talked about the Game Grumps, so I can't talk about Dan yet. Fuck. I know. Dnd Podcasts. I love them, and you probably don't care. But I really think they may be the new hotness. I think they're a new medium, and I want to pay tribute to them. So, today, we're going to talk about one of the best ones, and how no one can see its best episodes without a special link. What is a Dnd podcast? Where did they start? What is Just Roll With It? What happened to the first 72 episodes? And why it had the best characters in D&D history? I guess we'll just have to roll with it. I've already explained in an older video that D&D is the best thing ever, and that it's gay as can be. It's beautiful, it's fantastical, and it's magical. But what about Dnd Shows? A Dnd podcast is a simple idea. A group of people, or in my case, most of the time, one guy, sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes there's maps on screen. Sometimes it's just audio, using the theater of the mind. Sometimes it's live action, and it has a set, and cameras, and a big-ass, painstakingly crafted table with minifigures and product placement. But however it works, it's a story. It's an anime in your head, an improvised episodic TV show based on character, and people have pushed its limits to the extreme, creating incredible stories. But to understand them, we have to go back to the beginning. Critical Role. This show isn't just a D&D show. It's the D&D show. It's one of the first big ones. The big one that blew everyone's nips off. And surprisingly, I've never seen a single episode. Eventually, I'll go back and watch it. But it always felt very cringe. But I can understand that a bunch of voice actors playing D&D together is a genius idea. And it was so popular, it changed the actual rules of D&D. Matt Mercer, the creator of the show, has literally made subclasses that I have played. I'm playing a gunslinger right now. So they're a pretty big deal. But what about the little guys? What about the shows that people forget? The shows that died off, that fell apart, where this group of close friends joining together drifted apart, whether it's infighting or exhaustion, or people just getting too busy to record. Sometimes podcasts die. And it's sad. I've seen so many shows die out and fade away. But there's one show I've been rushing through, desperately trying to finish for months. Just roll with it. What if I told you one of the best deaths I have ever seen in D&D history was hidden, was lost from the public? What if I told you it was erased? And I, being the super cool guy that I am, still have a link. And I can show you something beautiful, something that was tarnished. Just Roll With It is a D&D podcast, created by a bunch of different streamers who all collab frequently. It grew very quickly, and all the creators on the show did what most shows do. When they grow, they start a Patreon. But they never took a single penny from it. It was a passion project, and they used the proceeds of the show to grow it, to pay editors and artists, to make the show great, to make it better. And then they even used some of the money to help the DM of the show get back on his feet. But after all this joy, and an amazing show with lovable characters, and one of my favorite deaths in D&D, the host of the show was canceled. Narwhal, known on the show as Jared, was up to some shady shit. I didn't learn the details, but it wasn't good. And I just started watching the show when the news dropped. I was already hooked. Episodes vanished as I woke up. I raced to watch something. The story deleting itself before my very eyes. I have never felt this particular kind of panic before. It was insane. But then, Charlie Slimesicle, my favorite person on the show, made a tweet. The group collectively decided to cancel the show. and reboot it without Narwhal involved. And the show is still going, but the decision they came to was never done before. They unlisted the show, so you can watch it, but only if you have a link. You can't find it publicly. You can't search for it. Only if you care about the show and have seen it before can you see it again. Like the Isla de Muerta from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a place you can go only if you've been there before. And I have a link. For several months, I've been working my way through the show, and I really like it. I'm trying to catch up and then move on and watch the new show, having buried the loss of all these great characters, so that I can see if I like the reboot show. But from what I can tell, they are two different shows. I might be wrong, but the Fated 5 are gone. I enjoyed the journey, so I thought I would tell you about it. It has some of the best characters I've seen in a D&D show. If you decide to watch the show, I can't guarantee it has a satisfying ending. I still have 10 episodes left. It's very long. 72 episodes long. Hours apiece. But I definitely recommend watching until the end of Arc 1. There's actually quite a few places you can leave the show with a satisfying ending. But I kept going. I pushed my luck. I really love the characters of the show, and even if they don't get a satisfying ending, I don't care. Broad is a gay icon. Taxi is a bicon. Mountain is a gruff daddy. Velrissa is a badass without enough screen time. I love Hilltree, and Silnan's character explores so much about narcissism and loss. The way the characters interact and the trauma they go through is so fucking good. And I'm sad that the show had to end, but it was fucking awesome. And I hope the current show is good. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure it's great. If by some miracle any of the cast actually see this, I loved your characters. And it's a goddamn tragedy that everything with Narwhal fucked it up. I wish you guys could bring back the cast at some point, all those lovable characters, but I understand that it couldn't work. The new viewers missed all those old episodes, and they could never know. But just know that you helped me forget about my life. For hours and hours, I've sat and waited in my car listening to episodes because I had to see how they ended. JRWI is one of the best D&D shows I've seen, and I'm glad you guys had so much success. Anyway, I'm Aloni the Bard, and that's how I feel about that. Thanks for listening. Bye. Oh, Charlie Slimesicle. Watch Dungeons and Daddies already. I know on your podcast that you said you haven't seen it yet. It's a fucking awesome show. Watch it. It's even better than yours. Anyway, check out my Linktree for more shit. Or don't. That's cool too. I wasn't sure what to talk about this week, and I've been insanely busy, and I haven't been able to research stuff like I want to. But I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I know I'm chaotic and weird. I know I'm not like other YouTubers. You know, I'm a quirky gamer boy who makes way too much content. So much content. I don't think it's physically possible to watch all my stuff. But I really appreciate you watching my videos until the end. And if you're hearing this right now, you're my parasocial pal. Anyway, see you later. Bye.